Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, we're back out on the bike. It's December 15th. Who would have thought I'd be back out on the bike? Weather right now is about 58 degrees. What time is it right now? Let's see here. 10 o'clock, 10:01 in the morning. Yeah, it's a little wet out here. It's expected to rain a little later today, so I figured I had to get out there before it happened. Obviously, we have some wetness on the ground still, but yeah, so I'm not going far. Again, I'm going to just stay with the same things we've been doing for so long. I changed out my tire. I have a story to tell you about the tire. Now, you know that I changed my front tire about 1,000 miles and something ago. Because I did a tire rotation at about, 1,500 miles. And then the rear tire, which always wears out faster than the front tire because that's where the drive unit is, and that's where all your weight is. I didn't feel comfortable with that tire in the front, so I put on a brand new tire in the front, but I didn't put on a new tire in the rear. And that tire now, where are we at? We're at 2,602 miles right now. So I got 2,600 miles out of that original tire from Kenda, which is being sold by Rad Power Bikes. And so I finally put that on after our last ride where we broke 2,600 miles. And I tell you, the way that they ship those tires to you is not too good. What they do is they zip tie two tires together, and then they don't put any type of packaging before they ship it off to you. Okay, so it's only a zip tie that's holding two tires together, and then of course that's being tossed around during shipment. Well, these are beaded tires, so the rim of the tire, well, I wouldn't say the rim, but the part that goes underneath the rim of your tire, it gets kind of bent, yeah, from the zip tie, and that bending kind of messed up the tires. Now, it didn't have much problems when I did it for this front tire, but this rear tire, which is a brand new tire right now, it didn't seat very well inside the rim of my bike wheel. So when I put it in there, it was wobbling. I mean, you could literally see it wobble. Now, I've seen videos from various bike forums where people have said that their tires seem to be wobbling. So I said, oh no, that's going to happen to me now. So obviously, I didn't ride the bike for the last couple weeks since the last ride that we went out on. And I pumped it up to, I usually put it at 19.5 pounds. I don't know why I don't just do 20, but I always put it at 19.5. And so I figured, well, maybe the pressure would help push it out a little bit. So of course, this morning as I'm getting ready for this ride, I took a look at it, and it's still out around. Morning. So what I did is I deflated the tire. This is the third time I deflated it and tried to reseat it. And after I deflated it this time, I used my hand. Now it's nice and pliable. The inner tube's in there and everything. I used my fingers and just kind of kept squeezing the tire to make sure that it sat in there perfectly round. And so now it is perfectly seated in the rim of the tire. But man, it took some effort to do that. But I think it's a lesson well learned. If you change out your tires, don't expect that just putting it into the rim that it's going to sit there perfectly. You're going to have to kind of flip the bike over and then turn the wheel. Take a look to see if it is actually going around in a circle or it isn't. All right, I'm slowing down here because these guys have to get off this bridge or I'm never going to be able to cross. Morning. So anyways, after reseating it all and everything, it is round at this point. So yeah, brand new tire in the back. That should give me some traction. I'm always a little nervous when the road is a little wet. But yeah, we're gonna do our best. Now there is some wind, and there is expected to be very high winds today, starting at 3 p.m. But as you know, those winds can kick up any time, and if it's blowing me sideways, that's a little dangerous. So yeah, I'm not gonna go too far. I'm just gonna do the same ride we always do all the time. But I figure better to be out than not, right? So I'm bundled up again. I have a sweatshirt on. I have my jacket on. I have my yellow vest on. I have a hat underneath my helmet. No, it's not a hat. It's like a cap. It's a knit cap, right? So yeah, and gloves. But my thumb throttle broke. As you take a look over here on the right side here, it's no thumb throttle. I'm going to have to pull this down if I want to throttle up. So when I was flipping the bike over to do this whole thing with the tires, I must have hit it by accident and I cracked it. So I immediately contacted Kevin Fitzpatrick on the Rad Power Bikes owners group on Facebook, and I said, hey Kevin, I need 2 more. I'll put one on and I'll keep one as a backup. Alright, go right past here. I put the light on too. Now I was going to put the light on the accessory bar that I have right over here, but you know that this thing is in the way. Now this used to be a bottle holder, as you might know if you've seen earlier Russ's Ride videos. But I moved it because the bottle was always in the way, but I can't get this thing off. I think it's stripped. So I put my light on the basket. I don't know if you can see that from here. I'm sure you probably can. And then I've got the blinking tail light going on in the back. So that means that as I'm turning my handlebars, of course, it's still facing forward. It's not turning along with me. Not so good, but oh well. It is what it is. So I've got lights blinking front and back. Got safety vests on. Got a lot of stuff I'm wearing. I'm wearing long pants. Yeah, nice and cozy. It's not so bad. It's usually the wind that causes problems. Yeah, I really miss this thumb throttle. I'm so used to having it here. I feel like, well, it's not there. What am I going to do? I mean, everyone else is using a twist throttle, but I'm telling you, to me, it's more tiring to hold it down constantly with this. Look at my right hand here, holding that down. I'd rather just use my thumb and push it down. I think that's a lot easier. At least for me, it is. Now, there are other thumb throttles that are probably stronger than this one that Kevin makes. Kevin 3D prints it, but I think a lot of other people 3D print it too. But he sells it for so cheap. They're like $5 each, including the shipping. Morning. So yeah, it cost me another $10. So I've had, once he sends it to me, I would have had 3 at that time, but one broke. Yeah, it was my own fault. I think I messed it up when I flipped the bike over and I kind of twisted it, and it probably would not have broken if I didn't do that. But again, it's made out of plastic, so what are you going to do? Now, I have not been on my recumbent exercise bike at all, so I can definitely feel it in my left knee. I have not been moving it as much as I typically would have had I been on the bike. So, I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I haven't done it. Just as lazy as everyone else, I guess. But I know I need to get back on that thing, especially during the winter. Otherwise, I'm going to have problems. Morning.
So good day.
So the problem with the light, though, is that the light does tend to bounce. and so it bounces upwards, which of course then means the light points into the eyes of the cars and everything like that. Let me push it down a little bit here. And that was the complaint people had, that it doesn't stay in position. I'm sure there's things you can do to help that, but straight out of the box, that's what happens. Okay, so they've cut down a lot of stuff on the left. They've added the fencing on the right, which we saw last time. And of course, I forgot to go faster, so now I'm struggling to get up here. Yeah, it's so that you don't fall down the path. If you went off, you would take probably a good 10 feet drop down there. So it's safer, I guess. Yeah, so it's definitely warmer today than it had been the last time I went out with all the stuff on. But I tell you, if you're in the 60-degree weather, it's worth bundling up, because I know that if I didn't do that, I'd be running home right now. But I'm sitting pretty good right now. So anyways, yeah, I miss our rides. I miss having you guys ride along with me, and I kind of like having you guys along with me. Like I said, it gives me something to talk to, somebody to talk to. It's like talking to myself here, but I know that you guys are listening when you watch the video. I think the bike ride would be rather boring if I didn't have you guys to talk to. Of course, I would be playing music at that point. I have this Bluetooth speaker here, which you never get to hear because I never turn it on because I don't want to demonetize the videos. Morning. So yeah, I mentioned before that the monetization of the videos are helping to pay for my high-speed internet, which I need in order to upload these videos. So yeah, your viewing of the videos and having a little bit of those ads running in the background there does help me out. Appreciate that. Yeah, you're not going real fast today, but it's okay. At least we're outside. I do feel that sometimes I'm kind of stuck in the house way too much. Because I'm not working now. I'm just kind of doing these YouTube videos for you guys. And when there's nothing happening outside, I'm stuck inside, which I really don't like to be. So in a sense, I'm glad that the weather is better so that we can get out. 15th of December, who would have thought? Now, I'm not going to say this is the last ride. I've learned my lesson. And sometimes you might be going back out again. Because if that weather gets better again, I'll be out there again. I think tomorrow's not supposed to be too bad either, but it's going to be colder than today. All right, so now we got to make some decisions here. Which way do we go? I think I got to take a right this time. Make sure no one's going to be running me over. It's always hard to have to reposition this bike to make this turn here. But it is the safest way to do it, is to cross through. I always look to make sure no one's turning right into me or left into me, like these left turning guys here. So you always have to watch these guys at these intersections. If they don't see you, they'll run right into you. All right, let's see how the path is today. So this area here seems to be a little bit clearer. I don't know if they did something or it just kind of wore it out from everybody riding over it. But nah, it's still just as messy. It'll look better when we get to the 3-mile circular path. So yeah, the hydraulic brakes are doing well. The brake calipers, they're not full hydraulics. You know, I was looking at the announcement that Rad Power Bikes had recently given. They were mentioning that I think December 29th, I think is the date that they put down. All of their bikes are going up in price. So if you haven't ordered a bike and you're looking to get one, this would be the time to do it because the prices are going up December 29th. And if you want a discount, I still have that $100 discount code. I believe it's still valid, but you'll have to check it yourself. I still have that code in the description of my videos. So you get $100, I get $100 if that happens. I'm gonna have to turn here. Okay. So anyways, yeah, they mentioned that the supply chain issues is affecting them, and although they've kept it off as long as they could, as far as raising prices, they have to do it. Now, they never mentioned how much is going to go up in price, or which models are discontinuing or continuing. But last I looked, radrover 5, which is my bike, is still on the website. It's sitting right now at $15.99, which is $100 cheaper than I paid for it. If you add in the other $100 discount code, that'll save you another $100, right? So yeah, if you're looking to buy a bike, get it now, from Rad at least. They have their Rad Rover 6, and you know there's a new Rad City model out as well, so you can always do those too. There's other new bikes out. Hemingway announced new bikes, which they won't be shipping until February apparently. But you know, I looked at the most recent version of their bike. I think it's called the Zebra. And I can't see anything that shows that it actually has the ability to add racks to it. They don't show it on their website, and I can't see anything that allows you to lock it on there. So I'm thinking that bike might not have abilities to do front and rear racks. But double check on your own. I might be wrong, but from what I can see, it doesn't look like it is. I think that would be a big mistake because you kind of need racks in order to carry things with you. Otherwise, how are you gonna carry all the things that you need for repair of tires and things like that? I mean, you're not gonna hold it. You're gonna carry it on a backpack. I mean, I wouldn't want a backpack on my back the entire time I'm riding, especially during the summertime. You'd be sweating with it on your back. So it does need racks. I think the Hemingway Cruiser is still there, and that has a rear rack. I don't know if it has a front rack option, I'm not sure. But I tell you, I like having, like that light does bounce up like everyone says. I like having front and rear racks. The rear rack, of course, is necessary because I have a battery on there. That's what's running the bike right now. I don't have the triangle battery in the triangle of the bike frame right now. So I put my battery there. I have the back panniers, and that's holding holding all of my tools and other bike-related repair-ish things, you know, like inner tubes and bike pump and all that kind of stuff. In the front, I have my ABIS lock is attached to it. I have my audio recorder is attached in there. My keys, my bike light, everything is attached there. So yeah, I really rely on having front and rear racks. The front is convenient because I can reach over and put things there. I've carried groceries and stuff in there too. Yeah, I think Vicky is right. This is must be a control burn. It's so black on the right hand side, but I'm just surprised that the strip of grass that they left here is still intact. How do they stop the burn so it doesn't go past it? That's what I want to know. How does that happen? But it does look burned the more I look at it. Or is it a chemical thing that they put down and burned it out that way? I don't know. I would think it'd be fire to do it. So that must be a way that they control the stuff that's out here, but they didn't do it to all. So it stops over here, and now it's back to regular. And I know that, you know, the deer and everything kind of hide in all that high grass and stuff. How do they know there's not animals in there when they do the burn? I mean, there's got to be like squirrels, and I mean, I even saw I mean, there's chipmunks, and I've even seen snapping turtles out here. Snakes too. One snake. So, do they just burn them and don't care about it? I don't know. How do they search it out? So yeah, the battery was at about 75%. Of course, now that I'm riding it, it's going to drop. So I'm just going to charge it back up to the 75% level before I put it away. You know, because if I don't get to go out again, I don't want that sitting at 100%. I saw an innovative way that somebody drained his battery down. He propped up the rear part of the wheel. I don't know if he used a milk crate or what. He propped it up, and then he tied something to the throttle and just let it run. And, well, that's just like riding it, I guess, but I'm sure it adds into the mileage on the odometer. Those would not be actual ride mileage. Yeah, so overall, this has been a pretty decent ride. The wind is there, but it's not pushing me as hard as it did last time. And the winds have gotten really bad out here. They don't call this the Windy City for nothing. Okay, now as I talk, I get the wind. So this video is going to be uploaded for the next day, I hope. If I get this back in time, because we're recording in 4K again, and I know 4K takes some time to render into a full 4K on YouTube. If I get it up there fast enough, it'll work on it overnight, and then you'll have full quality 4K video in the morning. $26.07 miles currently. I'm still going strong. I'm not tired out. I'm not cold. All right. The only thing that's tiring out is my hand on the throttle, because I usually throttle and pedal at the same time. Morning. So holding it down is tough. I think it's actually easier with the thumb throttle. Thank you. Nice gentleman walked out of the way for me. Saw that I had to pass the other guy. Yeah, so this is pretty good. You know, I think we'll head back the way we came so we can see the other direction. Yeah, I think that'll be a good thing. Should we do it all in one video? Yeah, let's do it all in one video. The problem with this, though, is that means it's a longer upload time, which means less time for it to turn it into a 4K, but that's okay. We'll take our chances. So if you ever watch one of these bike videos, which I do record now in 4K, if it doesn't come out as 4K for you, you wait a little longer, eventually it will be turning into a 4K. It just means that YouTube is doing its own compression stuff still and working on it. Yeah, the one thing I really like is, now that we're using the GoPro, the Hero 10, our videos are a lot more stable. As even though the bike is bouncing around as it hits bumps and stuff, the horizon should still look level. Now, I'm not talking level in terms of in the sense of, okay, I shouldn't say level. The horizon doesn't look like it's bouncing. That's probably a better choice of words. Well, Stacy is calling me. Stacy's my friend. He usually calls me around this time. Now, I told him before, and he should know, I told him if you call me and I don't answer, it's because I'm either riding my bike or doing something else. Here's why he calls me. Let me let you guys know. Let me pass this up first. He calls me when he picks up his son from school. I think he's still in preschool. So he'll call me at around this time. And then later in the afternoon, he'll call me again, because then he's picking up his two other kids who are older kids. So I keep him company on the phone while he's sitting in the car waiting for the kids. So we have a daily weekday talk. And we don't talk too long. It's usually about 10 minutes or so, and then he says, okay, gotta go. That's how we get in our talk time. Stacy's a guy, by the way, in case you're wondering. Is not a... I guess a name like Stacy can go either way, but that's not his true name. His name is Anastasio. So, to be short, we call him Stacy. Yeah, this whole section is all burnt out. If we look to the right, you can see it's all burnt down. And then they did it to the left side too as we come up further. So they started out over here and they do a burn over here. It's got to be Burns. What else would it be? So yeah, I kept the audio recorder in the front again. I think it actually works out better that way. So I have this cable, which is the audio cable. It's okay, as long as I don't fall off the bike or I get off the bike and try walking away from the bike without disconnecting. It works out. Happier with it this way. Alright, so we came on over here. We're going to go out over here. Head back the same way we came in. So it gives you a different view. I mean, to me, it looks different when you go back the other ways. I knew today I wouldn't be able to ride too far. I have things to do. We're going to make more juk. Remember what juk is? Juk is the rice congee. Because I bought another turkey, after Thanksgiving. They usually have to get rid of turkeys that they have too many of. So they were selling off butterball turkeys for 69 cents a pound. So I said, how could I resist that? But you had to buy like 20 plus pound versions of the turkey. Not the small ones, you gotta buy a big one. And they did not require $25 purchases. A lot of grocery stores around here do that. If you want to get the discount on the turkey during Thanksgiving, you have to buy a minimum of $25 in grocery. The only thing they ask is that you do one additional purchase. So it doesn't tell you how much you have to buy. I mean, you could buy the cheapest thing you want, and you'll get that turkey for 69 cents a pound. So That's what I did, and it was sitting in my refrigerator for a week trying to get that thing to defrost, but that thing is like 22 pounds. It was still rock solid. So I had to take it out of its packaging, stick it in a bucket full of water to help defrost it. And at the same time, I put a little salt in there so it's kind of brining it at the same time. So with any luck, that thing should be defrosted today. I'm gonna cut it up. I'm not gonna smoke it. I'm just gonna take sections of it and we're gonna turn those sections into juk, turkey juk. So turkey juk is rice congee. It's basically boiled rice. A lot of water with a little bit of rice. So if you have a standard stock pot, okay, fill that thing up with water, and then the amount of rice that I put in is about 3.5 small little cups. I'm not talking like actual cups, like little scoop things, right? Like 3.5 of those things. So there's a lot of water compared to rice. Now, I'm also on the diet, so is eating rice a smart thing? Well, if you think about it, it's more water than rice in there. So although you're eating rice, it's a small amount of it. But it thickens up once it's been boiled over really good. And so I usually put the rice in there. I'll put turkey bones. This time I'm going to have, turkey in there in addition to turkey bones. So it's going to be really stocked up with a lot of turkey and stuff. Put a little bit of chicken bouillon in there to give it some flavoring for the water. Put some salt, a little bit of pepper, whatever. So typically it's rather bland overall, which is the way my wife likes it. But what I do is I put a little bit of oyster sauce in mine. Okay, if you're not used to Chinese stuff, you might think oyster sauce. But yeah, that's a standard Chinese condiment. And that, of course, is a little salty too. Right. Where do you want to go here? How you doing?
Good morning.
How are you? So I'm gonna make turkey juk, and because there's a lot of turkey, I'm gonna be having turkey juk for a while. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it up, then I'm gonna freeze sections of it. So maybe I'll throw in a turkey leg one day, make turkey juk. Throw in a thigh another day, make turkey juk. That you're talking a whole big stock pot. It's gonna last me quite a while, which is fine by me. Alrighty. Which way did we go? Alright, we're gonna have to go left here because the light is changing. So what we gotta do again is we wait for cars to make their turns. You don't want to get run over by left turners or right turners. We get all these left turn guys out of the way. And I know ahead there's a couple guys blinking right, but they should see me, I'm sure, at this point. Hopefully they see you and they don't run you over. Alright. So we're good. Let's go ahead and hit the button. Now this is the main reason I have this light blinking and everything. I want to make sure people see me. And I'm sure the blinking light adds a lot of attention to them. Especially if it's aimed right in their faces. Which is what this is doing. Alright. I'll let this guy go first. He doesn't want to go, so we gotta wait till he goes. There they go. So now I go. The big bump over here that they should fill up. I don't know if you saw that or not. So the big question is whether the GoPro is going to thermally shut down by itself, which I don't think it will because it's not hot out. And of course, you got wind blowing on it. But that was always a problem for the GoPros, is they will have a thermal shutdown. I believe I have enough battery in the audio recorder, so that should be okay. Alright, now we have a little bit of issue here. A big baby stroller. Oh, wide baby stroller, in fact. Morning. Alrighty. So yeah, lots of turkey juk for me up ahead. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, nice long ride for you guys, for me too. Yeah, well, you know, I usually show you as much as I can, but I never turn on the camera right away. I usually travel a little distance, then I turn on the camera as we get closer to these paths. You gotta travel the distance to get to the paths, you know. Alright, so the wind is picking up a little bit. You should probably hear a little bit of that on the microphone. You know, the microphone does a good job though. You know, the windscreen on it is a foam windscreen, and that's all it needs, and it takes it all off. That's the main reason I bought this lavalier microphone, knowing that it does a really good job in rejecting wind. So, better than the built-in mic in the GoPro. GoPro's mic actually does pick up well. It's just it picks up too well in the sense that you hear all the noise from the bike, you hear all the tire noise on the road and everything, and then of course when the wind hits up, it's really bad too. But I put those dead cat filters, that they call it dead cat filters, like a fuzzy looking thing over the microphones, and that has cut down a lot of that wind noise. You know, that's something simple that people can add to their GoPros. I'm surprised that a lot of people who use GoPros don't do that. They really need to, because it'll cut down, all that harsh rumbling that you hear when people are outside in the wind with the GoPro. I watch some fishing channels and stuff, and a lot of these guys don't do it. Then you can't hear what they're saying. And who wants to hear a big rumble through your speaker? So yeah, the new tire is doing well. I don't feel any type of problems with it. I got up today and I knew that I had to fix the tire before I can go out again. And so I spent the time and did it. And so I know now that I'm ready for next year's rides with the new tire on it already. And with the new tire, I guess theoretically I could go out in the snow, but I'm not going to do it. I don't take that kind of gamble with my knee. If you have a knee replacement, spend tens of thousands of dollars to do this knee replacement. I'm not going to take that gamble. I know some of the people have asked me, he says, get out on those dirt trails and everything. I'm not doing that either. So don't think I'm gonna do it, because I'm not gonna. the best I'm gonna do are these paths, and I'm pretty lucky because there's quite a few of these types of paths where I live, or at least within a riding distance to get to. Yeah, take advantage of that. And even just riding around on the streets is not bad. I'm not doing much street riding today. It is very overcast. Visibility earlier in the morning wasn't so good. So I waited until that kind of cleared up a little bit before heading out. And also hoping that it would warm up a tad too. And it did, warmed up a little bit. But again, the high winds are coming. They've already given us those warnings that it's going to happen. So I said I got to do it early in the morning. Yeah, the dogs always want to get me. Dog was taking a running start trying to grab me. Yeah, dogs hate bikes. A lot of them do. Not all of them, but a lot of dogs hate bikes. So if you ever get a bike, be aware of that. Oh, the other day I saw a coyote. I was riding on the street in my car, and there's a coyote just walks right by it, It's like no big deal, just walking across the street. Yeah, we do have coyotes in our area. A lot of people complain about it because coyotes sometimes take their dogs and cats and use them for food. So you gotta really be careful. I've seen foxes out here. We had red foxes. I think they're red foxes. Yeah, I had one once just walk across my front lawn. I followed one once. He was walking down our subdivision, and so I followed him with my car. He kept looking at my car. I kept following him. He just like, when is this guy gonna go his own way? But yeah, he just kind of kept looking at me as he's walking. He's just checking me out, checking my car out. So yeah, we've had a lot of different animals out in this area. And of course, that we have the deer here in the forest preserve areas. I have seen more wildlife this year than anything else, and any other year. So I've been pedaling and also throttling, a lot of throttling today because the knee is not up to par. That kind of tells you that, if you don't keep it moving, it's going to stiffen up on you. I don't know how long this video's been running, but hopefully we still are rolling and not turned off by accident. You notice that there wasn't that many bikes on the path with me, but it is a weekday. People are working. You only got guys like me who are not working currently, and so I have time to go out. My battery's down to 3 bars on the rad battery meter. That doesn't mean anything because I actually gauge it off the meter that's on the battery itself. We're at 2,613 miles. If we don't end up going out again, we're going to finish up at about 2,615 miles, maybe. I don't know, whatever it is, 15, 16 miles. But I don't know how far I am from my house. But definitely past 2,600 miles, of course. So going under the tunnel here, into the tunnel. I always say under the tunnel, but you're not under the tunnel, you're in the tunnel. Wrong choices of word. Choices of words. There you have it. That is the entire path that we typically take to get there. All I have to do now is turn into the area where we have the high tension wires. And we're back to where we started. Alrighty. I appreciate you guys once again following me along on the bike ride. If you lasted this long, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, this is a long one. And, you know, they've got these colored stake things up here. Maybe they must snowplow this path or something. I don't know. Why else would they have it? Otherwise, once snow comes down, they don't know where the path is. So they must plow it. I won't know because I'm not going to go on it. Not in the snow. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Stick along with me. You never know, I might be going back out again. If the weather's decent, we'll do it again. Alrighty. Appreciate you guys coming with me again. I'll talk to you guys next time.